Welcome back, everybody, to Copeland Park. Decorah won game one of the doubleheader by a 5-1 margin, and they'll try to get the sweep here in game number 2 of the doubleheader, as they're going a little quick on us to start this game, but nothing wrong with that when it's almost darn near 8 o'clock here today. The Decorah lineup will be Colin Nimrod, the pitcher, Jake Upton in center, Kyle Kane, the catcher, Destin Carey at third, Cole Sweska in left field, Austin Ashbacker in right field, Connor Gossman going to get the start at second base, Aaron Severson will get the start at first base, and Andy Sinkink will get the start at shortstop. And that lineup will face Chris Carroll for Kee High here to start this ball game. As we had just gotten the lineup for Kee High, as the lineup was actually given amongst the umpires prior to us getting it up here. So flying by the seat of something here, but not Luke Kane. He's standing right now. Both teams going National League with batting a 9 in the lineup here in game number 2. So, Colin Nimrod will bat to start things here in game number 2 of the doubleheader. Decorah won game 1 by a 5-1 margin. And we'll get going here at 7:59 for game number 2. The first pitch inside from Chris Carroll. It is 1 ball and no strikes. Colin was a nice table setter. 8 for 12 at-bats and on base for the top 3 in the order, and a swing and a pop-up into left field, and a base hit gets by the left fielder Kelch, and it's going to go all the way to the wall. Nimrod hits second. He's chugging to third. The throw to third. He is in with a head-first slide. So Colin Nimrod going to be at third base with nobody out here in the top of the first inning.
Yeah, that play started with a very well hit ball by Colin. Good swing to start the game, and kept his eyes up and was able to make it all the way around to third.
So Colin Nimrod now has been on base safely in 4 of the 6 plate appearances here. Jake Upton will bat. He had 2 RBI in game 1. Infield already up at all 4 spots for the men of Gene Schultz as the pitch goes outside. 1 ball, no strikes. So that'll go as a single and a 2-base error on Kelch out in left field. Again, interesting pulling the infield up this early. But who am I to question a guy that's won 1,732 games? Pitch outside, 2 balls, no strikes. Mike's with an opportunity to get a first inning run in 3 consecutive ball games to start the season. 2 balls, no strikes. A long pause by the pitcher Carroll, and the pitch outside. In fact, he Hubden had asked for time prior to the pitch sailing outside, and it was granted. So it's going to be 2 balls, no strikes yet from Chris Carroll. Down the line from third comes Nimrod. 2 balls, no strikes the count. A long pause by Carroll again, and the 2-0 to Hubden is high and tight for 3 balls, no strikes. In left field, Kelch, in center field, Manning, and right field, Delaney for the Kee Hawks. Gavin at third, Carroll at short. At second base is Brennan, or is Donahue. And at first base is Kuhn. Brennan behind the plate, and Chris Carroll on the hill. Hubden took all the way, and he takes for strike 1, 3 balls, 1 strike. Stretch, and the 3-1 to Jake. Ground ball up the middle and through for a base hit. 3rd RBI of the night for Jake Upton. Vikes take a 1-0 lead.
Yep, good swing on that 3-1 pitch by Jake. Took it right back through the middle. That's the good hitting with runners in scoring position we're looking for.
So a 1-0 lead for Decorah, and Kyle Kane will be the batter. Kaner was 2 for 4 in game 1 of the doubleheader. Had a double off the wall in left field. Hovden with the lead at first base. He's taken off. Pitch taking a strike, and Brennan had the ball come out of his glove as he tried to throw. And Hovden now in scoring position with nobody out.
Another nice jump there on that steal attempt from Jake.
No balls, 1 strike the count. Warm, muggy night here in La Crosse, but a beautiful night to watch baseball. The stretch and the 0-1 to Kyle Kane. Fly ball left field. Coming in is Kelch. It's going to hold up for him. He will make the catch for the first out here in the top of the first inning. So Nimrod singled, reached third on a 2-base fielding error by Kelch. He was brought home on a Hovden single. Hovden stole second. Kyle Kane flew out to left, and Dustin Carey will bat now. Carey was officially 0 for 3, was hit by a pitch with the bases loaded, and had an RBI in game 1. He hammers one down the left field line, but will foul, and that's going to end up in the Mississippi.
Yeah, he hit that one pretty hard, but tough to keep keep that pitch just off the inside corner. Keep it fair.
That baseball may end up in New Orleans here in a few weeks. No balls, 1 strike. Pitch from Carroll swung on, smack towards third. It's bobbled there by Gavin. He keeps the ball in front of him, and Carey will end up reaching on a hard hit ball to third. Gavin might have gotten a piece of that one with his bare hand, and he shakes off the cobwebs as it'll be first and second with only 1 out.
That pitch was not a strike, but Dustin did a really nice job of staying on top of that baseball, and he really drove it hard.
Cole Sweska will bat. Runners at first and second with 1 down. Sweska was 2 for 4 in game 1, moving up 1 spot here in the order. Carroll delivers. The pitch swung on and a ground ball to Carroll. He bobbles on the mound. He'll throw to first base to retire Sweska. Both runners will move up 90 feet, but the bobble potentially cost him a double play.
Yeah, that was a pretty textbook double play ball back to the pitcher. I'm not sure if he had in his head right away that he wanted to go to second, and that might have caused the bobble, that little bit of indecisiveness.
Second and third with 2 down here in the first inning for Austin Ashbacker. A 1-0 lead for Decorah. Ashbacker was 0 for 3, did have a sacrifice fly in game number 1. Carroll delivers the pitch a little bit inside, says Brent Achenbach, the home plate umpire. John Gruden working the base pass. No, not that John Gruden. The 1-0 delivery, swung on ground ball towards third, bobbled there by Gavin. He'll throw across the diamond. The throw will be wild. A run will score. Moving to third is the runner Carey. He will go home as the ball gets by the third baseman. Ashbacker will move up to second. A bad news Bears play makes it a 3-0 lead for Decorah.
Yeah, to start things off, Austin hit the ball pretty well. We've had a couple hard shots at the third baseman, but might have still been shaken up from that hand injury on a few batters previously. Kind of a snowball fight there, turned into a run.
It'll be 1 error on the fielding and the throw to allow Ashbacker to reach. It'll be an error on the first baseman Kuhn on the return throw to allow Carey to score. So a 3-error inning for the Kee Hawks has made it 3-0, and Gossman swings and misses at the first one, 0-1. Connor getting his first opportunity with the stick here. No balls, 1 strike to count on Gossman. And the pitch, a curveball taken for a strike, a knee buckler for Connor, and it's 0-2. So the Vikes have hit the ball well, and the Kee High defense hasn't helped out their pitcher too much here in inning number 1. 3 unearned runs. No balls, 2 strikes, pitch inside. Didn't graze him? Yes, it did. The advantage of the loose-fitting jersey.
Yep, that was pretty textbook right there. We could see it all the way up here that it just swooshed the shirt.
I don't know if it's a Nike shirt, but nonetheless. See what I did there?
Should have gotten paid for that little thing.
There we go. Paging Phil Knight. Aaron Severson will bat. Pitch is in the dirt. It caroms to the right of Brennan towards the first base dugout. Both Decorah runners will move up 90 feet. So on the wild pitch, the baby bull to third and Connor Gaspin to second. 1 ball, no strikes to count on Aaron Severson. 1 for 2, 2 walks, 2 runs scored in game 1. Earning a stick here in game number 2. 1-0 delivery swung on a fly ball towards center field. Matt Manning is under this one. He will make the catch to retire the side. But the Vikes get on the board with 3 on 2 hits, 3 errors, 2 left. We head to the bottom of the first inning. It is Decorah 3 and the Kee Hawks coming to bat. Bottom half of the first inning. Here is your Kee Hawk lineup. Matt Manning in center. Quinn Brennan the catcher. Chris Carroll the pitcher. Nick Gavin at third base. Ryan Kuhn at first base. Casey Carroll at short. Jared Donahue at second. Jason Delaney in right field. And Travis Kelch will be in left field. And it's the varsity pitching debut, as long as my memory serves, for Colin Nimrod here tonight in game 2 of this doubleheader. You've seen him underneath and on the JV level. What does Colin bring to the table as a pitcher?
You know, he's really a hard thrower. And he does feature a breaker that has some nice bite to it. He's similar stuff to what Dustin brings. And, you know, if just like Dustin, if Colin can get ahead in the count early on, I think he'll experience some success here tonight.
And Matt Manning will start things here in the bottom of the first inning. He was 1 for 3, had an RBI single in the 5-1 loss in game number 1. We'll set the Decorah defense here momentarily. The pitch outside. It is 1 ball, no strikes. Cole Sweska in left. Jake Covden in center. And Austin Ashbacker in right. At third base, Dustin Carey is Manning late on a Nimrod fastball swinging and missing. It's 1-1. Andy Sinkink at second. Connor Gaspin getting the start at second. Sinkink is at short. And Aaron Severson will be at first. 1-1 delivery, low and in the dirt. 2 balls, 1 strike. Kyle Kane behind the plate and Colin Nimrod on the hill. 3-0 Decorah lead, helped out by 2 hits and 3 errors in that first inning. 2-1, fastball in for 3 balls, 1 strike. Probably a little adrenaline going with Colin here. 3 balls, 1 strike, and the pitch swung on smack towards right off the glove of Severson and into right field for a base hit. Get behind 3-1, guys are going to get good swings on you.
Yep, they are, and that was no exception to that. That ball's hit really hard. Probably a chance to make a play, though. I think he might have got a glove on it.
Runner at first, nobody out. And Quinn Brennan to the plate for the Kee Hawks. Brennan 0 for 3 in game 1. 5-1, Decorah won that one. The Vikes off to a 3-0 lead here in game number 2. Brennan squares to bunt and takes a curve low. 1 ball, no strikes to count. Couple of steps off the bag at first base is Manning. Nimrod comes set, 1-0 delivery, fastball missing outside for 2 balls, no strikes. So 5 of the 7 pitches that Colin has thrown has been outside of the zone to this point. Colin with a quick move to first base, back to the bag diving is Manning. Manning a couple of steps off the bag at first. The 2-0 delivery. Brennan pushes a bunt up the first base side, and Severson fields in foul ground. Two balls, 1 strike. Colin ready, 2-1. Curveball low for 3 balls, 1 strike. Manning a couple of steps off the bag at first base. 3-1 delivery. Brennan bunts through it, and it's 3-2. A 3 spot in the top of the first inning for Decorah. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Manning takes off. Pitch swung on, a ground ball off the glove of Carey and into left field for a base hit. Manning going to third. Sweska's throw there is not in time. Keyhawks will have him at the corners with nobody out here in the bottom of the first inning.
Yeah, it was a nice attempt by Dustin. Just couldn't quite keep it on the skin.
First and third with 1 down. A couple of hits here in the first inning, or nobody out, I should say. Chris Carroll will try to help out his own cause. And it'll be a courtesy runner at first base for the Keyhawks.
Courtesy runner for the catcher is number 8, Clay Olson.
Clay Olson will be the runner at first. Chris Carroll will be the batter. Really important to get a strike one here.
Yep, I'd say so, and equally as important, you want to get the first out of this inning as soon as you can here.
Runners at the corners, so Coach Schultz with a lot of opportunity here. Nimrod will bluff a throw towards first base, look the runner back, throw to first base to retire Carroll. Clay Olson moves up to second on the play, and there is 1 down here in the first inning.
Could have been a double play ball, but as soon as that runner on third base made a move towards the plate, that kind of froze Colin up just enough.
But in this situation, up 3-0, don't you trade 2 outs for 1 run there?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely you would.
Second and third with 1 down, and the batter will be Nick Gavin. 3-0 lead here in the bottom of the first inning for Decorah. Gavin is 2 for 3 on the night. Had 2 of the 5 hits in game number 1 of the doubleheader. Nimrod working out of the stretch as the pitch taken low. It is 1 ball, no strikes. One-0 swung on, popped up right side of the infield. Aaron Severson is under it. He will make the catch for the second out of the inning. So, I will retract my previous statement if you get a third out here.
Funny how baseball works, but in this case, maybe the double play or giving up on the double play might save you a run.
Second and third with 2 down. Ryan Kuhn will be the batter. 3-0 Decorah, bottom of the first inning of game number 2. Vikes won game 1, 5-1. Kuhn was 1 for 3. Here's the looper out in the left center field. After it is Jake Upton. He'll have to play it on a hop. Scoring is Manning. Olson to the plate. Throw to the plate. Not in time. 2-run, 2-out single for Ryan Kuhn, and it's a 3-2 lead for Decorah.
I thought Hovden might have been able to get to that ball, but it landed just in front of him. He got a nice jump on it. Just didn't stay in the air quite long enough.
At this point in the game, not worthy of the gamble either, right?
Nope, absolutely.
So a runner at first base, and Casey Carroll will be the batter. A 3-2 lead for Decorah here in the bottom of the first inning. Fastball up from Callan. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Carroll 1 for 3 with a double in game number 1 off of winning pitcher Dustin Carey. The next pitch is inside. It is 2 balls, no strikes. Stretch 2-0, swinging a foul, right side, not a play. It is 2 balls and 1 strike. Keyhawks, 2 runs, 3 hits, and 3 errors, and we're only in the first. Curveball taken low as Collin continuing to have a tough time in the strike zone, or finding the strike zone. Three balls, 1 strike. Collin with the 3-1 low for ball 4. That's his first walk, but he's working behind way too much. He's allowed 4 of the 6 base runners to reach to this point, and Jared Donahue will be the batter. 3-2 Decorah, bottom of the first inning. Donahue 0 for 3 in game 1. Pitch, a curve in there for a strike, 0-1. Stretch, 0-1, low and in the dirt. Especially with the fastball. Is Colin trying to overthrow a little bit here?
You know, it kind of looks like he is digging for a little extra right now. You know, maybe adrenaline might have a little bit to do with that.
1 ball, 1 strike to count. The pitch, curveball. Low, I guess. 2 balls, 1 strike. Callan spins and whirls the throw to second base. It gets off the glove of Connor Gassman. Moving up to third is one of the runners. Another runner trying to go to second. Andy Sinkink will dive. He won't be able to get Carroll. Now the go-ahead and tying runs move into scoring position on the throwing error by Colin Nimrod.
You really like Colin's desire to play the whole game and control the running game a little bit, but that's the time maybe throwing that ball might not be in your best interest.
And the pitch goes high, and now it's 3-1. And now Coach O is going to be out of the dugout to talk with Colin Nimrod. And the entire infield will be part of this conversation. Nobody down in the bullpen yet, and those whirl and pick-off throws with 2 outs, I mean, if they work, they're great, but oftentimes you got to question the wisdom of that. I mean,
yeah, you know, you want to try to keep them close and avoid him scoring on a base hit to the outfield and give him a chance. But at the same time, you got to have confidence that you can get the hitter out too.
Second and third and a 3-1 count. Against Jared Donahue. Each team with 3 hits here in the first inning and 4 errors overall. 3-1 fastball for a strike, and it's 3-2. Surprised about the lack of aggression from Donahue there on 3-1. 3-2. Outside for ball 4. Two walks in the inning for Colin Nimrod, and he's been forced to work a ton.
Got to buckle down and stop the bleeding here.
This already will be the 27th pitch of the inning for Nimrod as Jason Delaney swings and fouls the pitch off. No balls, 1 strike. Delaney 0 for 3 in game 1. A 3-2 lead for Decorah here in the bottom of the first inning. 0-1 delivery swing and a ground ball foul. It's a slowly hit ground ball, and Coach Ellis makes the play. He dove out of the way of a line drive. Must have gotten a talking to from Coach Schultz between games.
That looked pretty textbook over there, too.
Got to practice what you preach, right?
Well, absolutely.
No balls, 2 strikes to count, and the 0-2 delivery swung on a fly ball into right. After it is Ashbacker to land for a base hit. Scoring is Kuhn. Carroll coming to the plate. He will score. 2-run, 2-out single for Jason Delaney, and it's a 4-3 lead for the Kee Hawks, their first lead of the doubleheader.
Pretty good pitch by Colin, and it wasn't hit hard at all, but it found its way to the grass. And, you know, I think we might have had a shot at throwing out that 4th run at the plate. I'm not sure if the communication on the field was what it should have been.
And Travis Kelch will be the 9th batter of the inning. Kelch was 0 for 3 in game 1, did reach on an error.
First and third, 2 outs, you can definitely expect some sort of running play here.
First pitch outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Four hits and 2 walks in the inning. Colin ready, the 1-0. In there for a strike, and it's 1-1. Vikes sent 8 to the plate and scored 3 in the first inning. This is the 9th batter for the Kee Hawks. They have scored 4. 1-1 delivery, runner goes, pitch taken for a strike. Kyle Kane's throw down to second base, gets by Sinking and Gossman and into center field. That will allow Donahue to score. Second error of the inning for Decorah, and it's been ugly all around both ways. But the Kee Hawks lead at 5-3, and we're only in the first.
Yeah, the ball might have beat him there. Tough, it's a tough pick for a shortstop to make around the bag.
2 balls, 1 strike, the count, and Kelch swings and misses. It's 2-2, and didn't look like Kyle got the mustard on that throw that he needed.
No, not quite.
Might be an understatement in all fairness. 2-2 the count. Or the relish. Or the ketchup. Pitch taken low. It's 3 balls, 2 strikes. Three and 2 the count with 2 down. 5-4-3 for the Kee Hawks. 3-3-2 for Decorah. Nimrod ready. 3-2 pitch up for ball 4. I think Brighton Meyer is going to head down to the bullpen. 3rd walk of the inning for Colin Nimrod. Matt Manning started the fun with a single to right earlier this frame. 5-3 the lead for the Kee Hawks. We're in the bottom of the first inning. Pitch. Outside corner. First strike. Nothing in 1. Swing and a ground ball towards first. That's through the legs of Severson. Everyone is going to be safe. One is going to try to score. The throw there is not in time. Everyone else is going to move up 90 feet. And it's a 6-3 lead. And Colin hasn't been effective, but frankly the defense hasn't helped him out at all, Luke.
There's no excuse for that run scoring. That should have thrown him out by half a baseline.
Severson knocked down the ball at Karam to his right. He ended up fielding it, and by the time he had that ball, Delaney had hit third base and was rounding any sort of throw. And Delaney, at the very least, has to go back to third base. Kelch moves up 2 bases. Delaney moves up 2 bases. It's a 6-3 lead. Boy, that's just stuff that can't happen. 6-3 Kee Hawks, bottom of the first inning. Quinn Brennan single to left. His courtesy runner scored earlier this frame. Pitch, a strike. It's nothing in 1. Three of the 6 runs unearned. Ground ball towards third, fielded there by Carey, and he drops it. The bad news bears on the field right now for Decorah. Another run scores. That is 5 errors in this inning. First of all, it started out ineffectiveness for pitching, but it looks like as the courtesy runner Clay Olson will come back into the game. But it's got to be frustrating for Colin. He's finally finding the strike zone, and now his team just isn't making plays for him.
Yeah,
and it's guys that are usually pretty sure-handed.
The wheels have fallen off here, and somebody kind of needs to pick it up by the bootstraps and get us out of here.
7-3 the score, and a curveball somehow that missed the zone. Apparently tin cups being sold here tonight. 1 ball, no strikes. 1-0. Fastball misses low. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Hammered center field, base hit. Rounding third, coming to the plate is Manning. Hovden's throw to the plate is one hopped and cut off. Everybody else moves up 90 feet. It's an 8-3 lead for the Kee Hawks. And folks, we're only in the first inning. Chris Carroll helps his own cause with an RBI single to center to score Manning. I think that's going to be it for Colin Nimrod. We'll tell you about the changes here in a moment. A couple of programs that pride themselves in doing the little things right. Frankly, haven't done it too much here in game number 2 of this doubleheader. And Vikes with 5 errors, Kee Hawks with 3, and we're only in the first inning. Brighton Meyer comes in to pitch, and he will bat in the number 9 spot in the order that was occupied by Andy Sinkink, who was playing short. Nimrod will move back to second base, and Brighton Meyer, his job needs to... somebody needs to stop the bleeding. Somebody needs to clot this rally here in the first inning as the Kee Hawks lead it 8-3. And after a pretty solid performance in game number 1, defensively, this is unacceptable. No other way to put it.
You know, it just doesn't seem like anybody has any sort of direction or idea what's going on,
or any confidence, really.
A lot of disinterest right now. And
Gavin popped to the pitcher in the first as Meyer throws the first one low. It is 1 ball, no strikes. 8-5-3 for the Kee Hawks. 3-3-5 for Decorah. And yep, we're only in the first inning. 1-0. Low somehow, and it's 2 balls, no strikes. In a game like this where neither team can really field a ground ball, that strike zone's got to expand if we want to get out of here by 12:30 tonight. Ground ball towards short, fielding the long hop. It's Colin Nimrod. He'll throw to first base, and he airmails the throw. Scoring is 2 runs for the Kee Hawks, and it'll be a 10-3 lead. And Luke, you're saying there was some interference over there at first?
You know, initially maybe, but I don't know what you would call there. Those are 2 guys making a hard baseball play.
An E6, 6 errors in the inning now for Decorah, and a 10 spot here in the first for the Kee Hawks. Not exactly the showcase of baseball you wanted to put on for the good folks here in La Crosse tonight. First ball swinging is Kuhn, and he fouls this one away. No balls and 1 strike. So that'll close the book on Colin. 2/3 of an inning, 5 hits, 10 runs, 4 earned, 3 walks, no strikeouts. 1 ball, no balls and 1 strike, and Kuhn swings and fouls the next pitch off. It's no balls and 2 strikes. Curveball inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count on Kuhn. Gavin, the runner at first. Meyer ready. 1-2 offering, smack towards third and foul. Just to the left of the bag up the third base side. So, 1 ball, 2 strikes. One, 2 again. Swinging a pop-up foul right side, and that one is going to land out of play. So we'll do it again at 1 ball, 2 strikes. 10-3 Kee Hawks. We're in the first inning. Stretch by Meyer. 1-2 delivery, low for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two and 2 the count on Kuhn. 2-2 delivery is inside again for 3 balls, 2 strikes. Meyer ready, and the 3-2 offering. Runner goes, pitch taken outside for ball 4. believe the Kee Hawks start the Shooky Fink tournament in now 14 and a half hours.
Be a quick turnaround.
If this game is done by that time. Casey Carroll will be the batter. He is as the pitch goes outside, he is the 15th batter here in the first inning, which has featured 10 runs, 5 hits, and 6 Decorah errors. First and second with 2 down. Meyer has allowed a runner to reach on an error and walked one since coming in for Nimrod, swinging a foul back, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike on Carroll. Vikes got off to a good start with a 3-run first inning. Hovden with an RBI single, and errors allowed 2 of the 3 runs to score. It's amazing, of the 13 runs that have scored, only 5 have been earned. That's bad baseball. No other way to put it. Pitch swung on and fouled back, and the 2 men that lead these 2 teams would have no argument with me saying that right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't be looking forward to that bus ride home here tonight.
1-2 with 2 down. Meyer ready, a look back at second in the 1-2 delivery, a curveball inside for 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two and 2 the count and the pitch. Fastball missed outside for 3-2. Meyer ready, 3-2. Outside again for ball 4. And now the third pitcher of the inning is coming in. This will be Eric Severson. We'll tell you about him here in a moment. Welcome back, everybody, to La Crosse. Honestly, I'd love to tell you what happened. Technically, I have no clue. As Jared Donahue pops one up right side, Eric Severson is in the game now as Connor Gossman is under it, and he will make the catch to retire the side. But a first inning, if you thought you missed anything inning-wise, you didn't.
Yep.
10 runs, 5 hits, 6 errors, and 3 left. Let's review the first inning. Decorah got an RBI single from Jake Hovden in the first inning, and 2 errors allowed 2 more runs to score, and that made it 3-0. But the Kee Hawks scored 10 runs, and you want to know the disheartening thing? All with 2 outs. A 2-run single by Ryan Kuhn, an RBI single by Jason Delaney, and an RBI single for Carroll was the only thing that happened in that inning that the Kee Hawks earned. 7 Decorah errors in that frame, and needless to say, you just can't do that and play winning baseball.
Yeah, it's gonna be a uphill climb to come back from that pathetic first inning, and it's gonna take a team effort here.
Well, and Chris Carroll will return to the mound here in the second inning, and he will face hitters 9, 1, and 2, and the first batter will be Eric Severson, who eventually got the Vikings out of that first inning. Nimrod went 2/3 of an inning, 5 hits, 10 runs, 4 earned, 3 walks, no strikeouts. Brighton Meyer faced 3 batters, allowed 1 to reach on an error and walked 2, and Severson finally got out of the frame in that first inning. So 10-3 the score, and Eric Severson will bat to start things here in the second inning. I'm about ready to say this is one of the damnedest games I've ever seen. We've only seen an inning.
You know, kid.
Wow. But, hey, bottom line is you got 18 outs to play with here, and you're down 7.
Road.
Eric Severson looks at the first pitch outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Andy Sinkink got the start in this frame. As Severson smacks one into right field. After it is the right fielder Delaney, and he'll make a running grab in medium depth right for the first out here in the second inning. Eric Severson hit the ball well, but Delaney made a nice play.
Yeah, hit it right on the nose, but very nice running catch by the right fielder.
And Colin Nimrod will bat for the second time in as many frames. Nimrod singled and scored in the first inning. He reached third on a two-base error as that one smacked into left field and a base hit. So Colin Nimrod now 2 for 2 on the night. Mike's getting some good swings against Carroll tonight.
Yeah, another back-to-back good ones here, and this time it finds that hole between third baseman and the shortstop.
1 on, 1 out. 10-3 Kee Hawks were in the second. I did not misspeak. 10-3 were in the second. Jake Hovden single, knocked in a run, and scored in the first inning. He has 3 RBI on the night. The pitch goes outside for 1 ball, no strikes. Jake has batted 2-hole in the 3 games to this point. And now the Vikes able to continue a streak as Colin moves back to first base after a move over there from Carroll. 16 times up this year, and they have yet to be retired in order. Pitch swung on and a chopper up the middle to his left is Carroll. He'll tag the bag for the first out. Throw to first base is not in time. That's a heck of a play by Carroll at shortstop.
Yeah, that's a fine play by the shortstop. Not only getting the ball, but even getting a throw off to first base. That was very well done.
Carroll gloved it and had to kind of take a back step to tag the bag at second. Ends up being a fielder's choice.
Number 4, Kyle Kane.
And a runner at first and 2 down. Kyle Kane will be the batter. Kane flew out to left in the first, 0 for 1. 10-3 Kee Hawks as Kane swings and drives one towards left. Kelsch retreating. He will make the catch to retire the side. So 1 hit, 1 left. Bottom of the second we go. It is a 10-3 lead for the Kee Hawks. 10-3 Kee Hawks as we go to the bottom half of the second inning. Decorah won game 1 tonight by a 5-1 margin. Decorah got a sweep against the Kee Hawks. That was last year. That was the first time that has happened since 2003. And probably have to go a lot longer than that to get sweeps in 2 consecutive years. Jason Delaney will bat. He got an RBI single and scored in the first inning, but who the heck didn't, to be honest with you, as Delaney gets hit in the chest by a Severson pitch. The old curveball that didn't curve. And Coach O out to talk to Brett Inkenbach, the home plate umpire, and said the shirt was totally out and the ball hit him in the shirt, and how can you reward first base if the shirt isn't tucked in? Coach O doesn't argue too much.
I think in this case he may have
I think he's got a really valid point.
When he's tucking in his jersey standing on first base, I think that might say something.
Travis Kelch will be the batter. Runner at first, nobody out here in the bottom of the second inning, a 10-3 lead. CV delivers, and the pitch goes inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Stretch by CV, and the pitch. Curveball for a strike. A strike, and it's 1-1. Couple of steps off the bag at first base is Delaney. The 1-1 delivery. Bunting is Kelch. He does so up the first base side. Severson throws to his brother to record the putout. 1-3. Eric to Aaron. And there's one down here in the second inning.
Yep, that was well done. Good fielding play, right? Hopped right off the mound. Proper fit footwork for that big old lefty.
Runner at second, 1 down. Matt Manning batting for the 3rd time in 2 frames. Singleton scored in the first, reached on an error and scored in the first inning. 10-3 Kee Hawks here in the second as that one blooped towards third. Retreating is Dustin Carey. He will make the catch. Kind of stumbled as he retreated that time, but ended up getting the ball into his glove, fortunately, and there's 2 down. The way things are going here tonight, you just don't know.
You just don't. And he wasn't quite sure which way to pop his hips, and lucky for us, he was able to snag it out of the air.
2 down, runner at second. Quinn Brennan Singleton scored in the first, reached on an error and scored in the first as Brennan steps out, and time is asked for. Delaney off a second. Severson comes set and the pitch, fastball up. 1 ball, no strikes. Games like this, I tend to check the social media. Interesting news that you probably wouldn't expect. Golfer Phil Mickelson allegedly under federal investigation for insider trading.
Wow.
1-0 delivery, swing and a miss. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. And things I never thought I'd hear. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. 10-3 Kee Hawks. Here in the bottom of the second inning, a 10 spot in the first after Decorah got a 3 spot in the first. 1-1, Brennan swings and fouls the pitch away. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. And wouldn't it be remarkable to have 0 spots in the second inning? That's a crazy game of baseball. Severson ready. A look back at second. And the 1-2 delivery swung on a fly ball to right center field. Angling over Ashbacker. He will make the catch to retire the side. So a hit by a pitch, but nothing else. We head to the third. It is the Kee Hawks 10 and Decorah 3. A 10-3 lead for the Kee Hawks as we go to the third inning. Vikes won game number 1 behind the pitching of Dustin Carey earlier tonight by a 5-1 margin. Vikings got some 2-out runs. Jake Hovden with 2 RBI in that ball game. A total of 10 errors, 9 hits, and 13 runs here in game number 2. In case you weren't with us earlier in other Decorah sports results today, obviously Decorah baseball won tonight 5-1. The Decorah boys tennis duo of Carl Sand and Caleb Ullring, they're in the Class 1A semifinals tomorrow morning at Waterloo. And the other doubles team, C.J. Cliff and Gable Lanning, are in the consolation semifinals. So Decorah going to have 2 of the doubles teams in the top 8. And good luck to them down at the boys state team tournament down at Des Moines next Tuesday. They're at the state team for the first time since 2001. Dustin Carey will lead things off here in the third. He reached on an error and scored in the first. But again, who didn't? Both ways. Ground ball towards third, picked up there by Gavin. He'll fire across the diamond, and there's 1 down here in third. 1 down, nobody on for Cole Sweska, who grounded to the pitcher in the first 0 for 1. Sam Sackwitney tied for 6th place at the 3A state golf meet right now. He shot an opening round 75. So good luck to him tomorrow. They said it was 91 degrees in Ames on the course today. Pitch goes low, 1 ball, no strikes. Water sales were brisk, my sources say. 1-0 delivery. There's a strike. It's 1-1. And the Decorah girls soccer team with the 10-0 victory over Waterloo East in the first round of tournaments at Decorah tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike, and the pitch. Cole grounds foul, third base side. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Just kind of in that awkward transition time of year where you're starting your summer sports, but if you don't have your full complement of players, it's probably a good thing because they're being successful in the spring.
It's always good to compete, especially at a high level.
One ball, 2 strikes the count. 10-3 Lansing here in the top of the third as fastball up. It is 2 balls, 2 strikes. Vikes into conference play Tuesday night at New Hampton, team that's ranked in the first Iowa High School Baseball Coaches Association poll. As the pitch goes low, it's 3 balls, 2 strikes. Three-two, smack towards first, caught at first by Kuhn, and there's 2 outs here in the third inning.
Good opposite field swing there by Cole. He's hit the ball well tonight. Unfortunately, that one stung right at the first baseman.
Two down, nobody on. 4 in a row set down by Carroll. And Austin Ashbacker will be the batter. He reached on an error, and that at-bat allowed 2 runs to score in the first inning. Pitch goes high, 1 ball, no strikes. Pitch swung on, smoke towards right center field. That one will land for a base hit and will head into the gap. The baby bull hits second base, being waved to third. Relay throw from Kee High, not in time. The baby bull overslides the bag, and he is out. He was safe in plenty of time, but he overslid the bag, and he is retired. 9-4-5 after the extra base hits. 1 hit, nobody left. Bottom of the third we go. 10-3 Keyhawks. Bottom of the third inning we go. It's a 10-3 lead for Decorah, and if something epitomized game number 2, it was that play right there. Austin smokes the ball in the right center field, and he was being sent at second base. We should emphasize that. He slides into third head first, but he overslides the bag and is tagged out pretty easily. Again, not giving a reason or excuse, and Austin would be the last one that would want me to give him one, but on this artificial field, is it a little different sliding-wise?
Oh, I'm sure it is. I'm sure not as much friction as there is with the old dirt.
Chris Carroll, the pitcher, swings and pops one into shallow right. Austin Ashbacker coming on, and he will make a one-handed catch in shallow right. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the third inning. 1 down. Nobody on for Nick Gavin. 0 for 2 officially. In the first, he popped to first and reached on an error in the first. In case you're just joining us, 7 errors and 5 hits led to 10 Keyhawk run in the first as Gavin smokes one deep into left field. Sweska looking up, and that one is high off the fence. Gavin will stand at second with a double. That was very close to going into the lacrosse night.
Yeah, that ball was smoked. Hit off that top section of that high wall, and Cole did a nice job of playing it pretty cleanly off the wall, though, and kept it at a double.
Runner at second, 1 down, and Ryan Kuhn will be the batter. 2-run single in the first. He also walked in the first. Eric Severson, the third pitcher of game number 2 for the Vikes, as a ground ball up the middle. Diving step made by Colin Nimrod. He'll throw to first base, and the throw hops by Aaron Severson. Rounding third, coming to the plate is Gavin. He will score. It's 11-3 Keyhawks. Great play to get to that ball from Colin, but unfortunately the one-hop throw got by Aaron Severson at first base, and that's the case where Sevey just has to go catcher's style to prevent that ball from getting by him, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Didn't really have a chance to get the runner. You just got to make sure you keep that ball in front of you.
8 errors tonight for Decorah, and we're in the third inning. A backdoor breaking ball outside to Carroll. 1 ball, no strikes. He's drawn 2 walks tonight. 11-3 the score. 1-0. Curveball taken low. It is 2 balls, no strikes. Eleven to 3, Kee Hawks, bottom of the third. Severson ready, and the 2-0 offering is a fastball up for 3 balls, no strikes. Now you got to enter this possibility. I mean, you got to suck it up and take a little pride here because you don't want to get 10 runs.
You're not far from it either, and it's looking pretty likely with the way things have been going.
3-0 outside for ball 4. Vikes did look pretty good in game number 1 of the doubleheader, and overall, granted the timely hitting wasn't there, but Dustin carried through pretty well defensively. You played pretty well in that. I guess you did have 3 errors.
Yep.
And, of course, that looks like nothing compared to the 8 that you have in this one. Coach O out talking to Eric Severson, and bottom line, this just can turn into a little bit of a teaching moment here. You're facing a little bit of adversity. How are you going to respond?
And, this tells you a lot about your team right now. It's still fairly early in this ball game. There's probably a chance to fight back in, but more importantly, at this point, you want to make sure you play a full 7 innings, and you got to look to your seniors to kind of get things going here a little bit and get some life back out there.
11 to 3 the score as Jared Donahue will come to the plate. Donahue doubled or walked and scored in the first and popped to second in the first as that one smacked into center field and a base hit. Rounding third and coming to the plate is Kuhn. The throw there is cut off by Severson. An RBI single by Donahue and a 12 to 3 lead for the Kee Hawks.
Yep, that was just a good piece of hitting. Textbook right back up the box, and not a whole lot you can do about that.
And that's the stuff you just got to accept, because you know what? Kee High is a good ball club, and they're going to do that type of stuff against you.
Yep, you can handle one. That's sprinkled in every 4 or 5 batters, but what you have done beforehand is really kind of dealt yourself a bad hand.
And Jason Delaney swings and misses a curveball in the dirt. No balls, 1 strike. Delaney with an RBI single in the first. He was hit by a pitch to start the second. Delaney and Kelsch, the 8 and 9 batters, the only 2 batters that did not bat twice in that 10-run first inning. 12-3 Kee Hawks here in the third. Ground ball back to Severson. He's going to spin and throw to Aaron at first base for the second out of the inning, with Carroll moving up to third and Donahue moving to second. A 2 spot here in the third inning.
Now batting the left fielder, number 16, Travis Kelch.
Second and third, 2 down, bottom of the third, and Travis Kelch to the plate in a 12-3 Kee Hawk lead. Vikes did win game number 1, 5-1. As a curveball for a strike, 0-1. Kelch walked and scored in the first inning and grounded to the pitcher in the second. Severson ready, 0-1, swing and a miss. Kind of got away with a hanging breaking ball there, but fortunately, the result worked for Decorah. It's 0-2. 0-2, sprayed foul down the third baseline. Count remains no balls, 2 strikes. Lights have taken full effect here at Copeland Park. This is Vikings Radio 1240, KDEC Decorah, and KDECradio.net. Darren Swenson, Luke Kane with you. From Copeland Park here in La Crosse tonight, curveball. High, I guess. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One, 2. Swung on, fly ball, right field, chugging in is Austin Ashbacker. He will make a medium depth catch, 2-handed in medium depth right field. 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 error, 2 left. Let's go to the 4th inning. It's 12-3 Kee Hawks. Top of the 4th inning we go. It is a 12-3 lead for the Lansing Kee Hawks. A 10-run inning for the Kee Hawks in the first inning. The Vikes were in the gracious giving spirit with 7 errors. They have committed 8 all told tonight. Connor Gossman will lead things off here in the top of the 4th inning. He was hit by a pitch in the first. And Carroll throws a strike, 0-1. If you're Chris Carroll, you got to love a game like this if you're on the hill.
Yep, you're trying to throw the ball over the plate. That's really all you got to do.
0-1 delivery, ground ball to the right side. It's picked up there at second by Donahue and on to first base. One second baseman retires the other. One down here in the 4th inning. And the batter will be Aaron Severson, who flew out to center to end the first 0 for 1. Eric Severson is on deck. Aaron will look at a strike, 0-1. Good thing they were 23 and 21. I can't tell them apart. No balls, 1 strike. 0-1 delivery is outside for 1 ball, 1 strike. Just trying to think back here. Carroll ready. 1 ball, 1 strike, and the pitch swung on, popped up foul. And out of play. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Trying to think if this is the first set of twins you've had playing Decorah Athletics since the Fulses and the Larsons. Unless I'm totally drawing a blank on somebody. Can you think of anybody?
No, I can't either. I can't think of anybody. I can think of a couple brothers.
Yeah.
But no twins.
Yeah. Pitch high, 2 balls, 2 strikes to count. 12-3 Kee Hawks. We play the top of the 4th inning. 1 down, nobody on here in the 4th. As the pitch goes outside, it is 3 balls, 2 strikes. This game has been weird enough that Austin Ashpacker, the last inning when he got tagged out at 3rd, I would be willing to bet he doesn't have a triple in his baseball career. That will go as a triple because he hit 3rd base and then overslid the bag. So it doesn't go as a double and a tag out there. He hit 3rd base and was retired there. So 3 balls, 2 strikes with 1 down. And the pitch swung on, popped up foul. Good to see some battle from Aaron here as that one onto the roof here at Copeland Park. 3-2 the count. One down here in inning number 4. Vikes did win game 1, 5-1. Pitch swung on, smacked into right center field. That one will land for a base hit. So Aaron Severson, who was on base 3 times in game number 1, on base for the first time here in game number 2.
Yep, that was pretty good at bat. Very competitive at bat, and he finished it off with a nice textbook swing right back up the middle.
But he had 2 strike foul balls in that situation against Carroll. And again, it's just nice to see some kids competing when you're down 12-3. And really nothing has gone your way here in game number 2 outside of that top of the 1st inning. Eric Severson will be the batter with Aaron Severson at first base. And the pitch sails outside from Carroll. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Vikes did win game 1, 5-1. And yeah, baseball is one of those games that's going to be cruel to you a lot of the time, but got to have a short memory, don't you, Luke?
Absolutely. You're getting back on the horse pretty quick.
1-0 ground ball or in the air, and it's caught by Carroll, and he'll throw it to first base for a double play. A looping ball off the bat of Eric Severson was caught by Carroll. Aaron was a few steps off the bag at first, and again, another play that just kind of epitomized Decorah's night. 1 hit, nobody left, halfway home here in game number 2, 12-3, Kee High. Not that I endorse plagiarism, but Brian Hilzebeck, the Kee High AD, very good at the hidden ball hat game on the scoreboard. Matt Manning swings and loops one towards second base. Retreating is Connor Gossman, and he will make the catch to start things here in the fourth inning. And there is one down here in the fourth as Manning now officially 1 for 3. He's been on base twice here in game number 2, and not an easy play, but a good play by Connor out there at second.
Yeah, sometimes those balls are hard to read, and Connor did a nice job of sticking with it and securing the ball for the out.
And the batter is Quinn Brennan, who was the losing pitcher in game 1. He'll take a curve for a strike from CB. No balls, 1 strike. Brennan singled and scored in the first, reached on an error and scored in the first, and flew out to right in the second. Ground ball towards third, backhand stop made by Carey. He'll fire across the diamond. Nice stretch at first base by Aaron Severson. And there's 2 down here in the fourth inning.
And that was a fine high school play on all ends. Dustin, nice backhand, and good help from his first baseman over there.
Closed circuit to Connor Doyle. Yes, we did forget them. For a reason. 2 down, nobody on. Chris Carroll to the plate. 12-3 Kee Hawks. A 10-run first inning for Lansing Key. And Carroll swings and misses. Home run cut, no contact, 0-1. Carroll grounded to the pitcher in the first, singled and knocked in a run and scored in the first and flew out to right in the third. 0-1 delivery. Swung on and a ball up the middle and a base hit. Carroll now 2 for 4 on the night. That's the 8th hit, or correction, the 9th hit that the Kee Hawks have here in game number 2.
Pretty good swing. That's a ball if you have any chance, your pitcher's going to have to come up with it, but just couldn't quite get to it.
And a courtesy runner at first base for the Kee Hawks. That is Ethan Walliser. Nick Gavin is over at first base, and Severson throws over to first base to keep him honest. And the first pitch, swing and a miss by Nick Gavin. No balls, 1 strike. He popped to the first baseman in the first, reached on an error in the first, but who didn't? And reached on an error and scored, or reached on a double and scored on an error in the third. Didn't have the cue card up for you there, Luke. Sorry.
Yeah,
pitch goes outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. We need a Biff Henderson's. Do you understand the reference?
Don't get it.
Letterman's cue card guy.
Oh, okay.
1 ball, 1 strike to count. Pitch, low outside. Two balls, 1 strike. Hey, Blackhawks just scored a power play goal. Your cousin, or your uncle, Patrick Kane. 2-1. Outside, 3 balls, 1 strike. Game's on the line, always trust Kane.
Absolutely. That's tried and true right there.
3 balls, 1 strike with 2 down. Swinging a foul back to the screen. 3-2. The funny thing is, I'm making a joke, but Luke does actually have an Uncle Patrick.
Sure do.
Might not have the bank account that this Patrick Kane does, but...
Yeah, I don't think so. He's not telling me about it, at least.
3-2, ground ball towards short. Fielded on multiple hops by Colin Nimrod. He'll throw on to first base to retire the side. So we've had innings with 10 runs, 5 hits, 7 errors, and 1 left. We have an inning there with 1 hit and 1 left. We go to the 5th. It's a 12-3 lead for the Kee Hawks. A flip-flop second and catcher here for the Kee Hawks. Quinn Brennan goes to second, and Jared Donahue goes behind the plate. Donahue has now played 3 positions on the night, playing second, first, and catcher. Hey, top of the order here in the 5th inning. You're down 9, but you got 9 outs to play with, and you know what? We've shown after some lackadaisicalness, some uninterest in that bottom of the 1st inning, Luke. I don't know if Coach O had a conversation before the top of the second inning, but you've seen the guys show up and compete a little better since that time because physical errors are fine, but mental errors, mentally, Decorah wasn't in it in that bottom of the first inning as Colin Nimrod looks at the first one inside, 1 ball, no strikes.
Yeah, and that's something that you can't have. You can't take innings off. You can't take pitches off. We took that first inning off mentally and sure paid the price. It's nice to see him compete, though, here in these latter couple innings.
Colin 2 for 2, and he's hit by the pitch. Hit him in the upper arm area, and that's the third time Colin has been hit by a pitch tonight, so he has a high baseball magnetism. How's that for a 75-cent word?
It's a little scientific for me, Darren.
You're more of a nuts and bolts type guy?
Yeah.
Runner at first, nobody out, and Jake Hovden will be the batter. He has 3 RBI on the night, 1 for 2, an RBI to run scored here tonight. 12-3 the score. Kee Hawks here in the top of the 5th inning. And stepping off is Carroll. Frankly, I don't know why you'd even pay attention to runners in this situation.
I wouldn't be.
But, man, you got to worry about yourselves. Carroll throws to Hovden, and he tries a little drag bunt, and he fouls it off. No balls, 1 strike. Maybe that's an aspect with Jake that he can bring something like that to the table. Absolutely.
He's got the speed to do so, but he's also got a pretty good bat that you want to let him swing it as much as he can, that's for sure.
No balls, 1 strike to count. Nimrod a couple of steps off the bag at first base, and Carroll steps off. Sometimes you'll see teams in this situation, even up 9, won't even hold a runner on.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Getting a better angle on a ground ball is the pitch, swinging a foul at the plate. No balls, 2 strikes on Hovden. But the other argument, I guess, would be this early in the season, you want to make things as routine as possible, too.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to play the whole game, but...
No balls, 2 strikes to count. 0-2 delivery, sails high. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. And we're hoping to get to talk to Chris Goodell, the GM of the Lacrosse Loggers. I know he had a college player coming in to the airport. He was scheduled to get in at 6:30 tonight, so must have been some issues with that. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. The 1-2 delivery goes outside for 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Chris, an Iowa kid, a Northeast Iowa Conference kid. Graduated from Owine. He was in the same year as Todd Rima, who's now the Kirkwood baseball coach. Of course, Landon Ashpacker played for Kirkwood these last couple of years. 2-2 delivery swung on and a ground ball towards short. Carroll, underhand toss to second for 1. Throw to first, not in time. Fielder's choice, 6-4.
Yeah, you're not going to double up Jake Hovden too often. He's just too quick. The ball was hit pretty hard, too, but he gets down the line.
It might be something in the state of Wisconsin tonight. Milwaukee with 15 hits against the Cubs in 5 innings. Kyle Kane will be the batter. He's flown out to left twice, once in the first, once in the second. And a move to first base will send Hovden back to the bag. Again, I have no clue why you would even think about throwing over.
Darren, I'm not sure how that was not a balk. I'm at a loss for words.
Pitch in there for a strike. 0-1 on Kyle Kane. Kane had 2 hits in game number 1. His first 2 hits of the season were infield hits, but then he smacked one off the wall in left field. 0-1 delivery, curveball inside for 1 ball, 1 strike. Suppose with 2 infield hits, first 2 of the season, the title of Wheels might get handed down to the next generation.
Not a chance.
A little greedy, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
1 ball, 1 strike. Pitch taken low by Kane. It's 2 balls, 1 strike. It's a 12-3 lead for the Kee Hawks. They got 10 in the first inning and added a couple more in the third inning. Only 4 of the 12 runs have been earned tonight. 2-1, swung on, smack towards left field, towards Kelch. Kelch went in a bit, but it ends up over his head, and it's 2 hops and against the wall. Jay Cubden hits third. He will score easily on a double to left by Kyle Kane, and it's a 12-4 ball game.
Yeah, it was a well-hit ball, and the 2 steps in ended up being fatal for the left fielder. And
number 2, Dustin Carey.
Nice run-scoring double.
And courtesy runner Bryce Pierce going to be coming in for Kyle Kane here. Either that or he took 2 steps on the outfield and waved at a patron on the left side. Probably did both.
Yeah.
Bryce is a friendly kid.
Absolutely.
Dustin Carey will be the batter runner at second. 1 in, 1 down, 5th inning. 12-4 lead for the Kee Hawks. Change being reported. And here we go. Bryce, a few steps off the bag at second base, and Brennan will pay attention to him as Carey looks at a strike, 0-1. Carey reached on an error, scored in the first, grounded to third in the third. Decorah did win game 1 by a 5-1 margin, but the Kee Hawks lead it here in game 2, 12-4. Carroll comes set, and the pitch. Carey ahead of an off-speed offering, and he fouls it to the third base side, and it snowballs in 2 strikes. A 12-4 lead for the Kee Hawks. Vice scoring for the first time since scoring 3 in the first inning. A moment ago on the RBI double by Kane. Here's Carey with a little number up the third base side foul. And nice bare hand pickup on a change of direction there by Coach O.
That's some fancy footwork.
Suppose with the new hip and everything, he's can bend down a little better than he used to. But even with the old hip, it was fundamentally sound.
Oh, absolutely.
Got to practice what you preach. No balls, 2 strikes. The count remains from Carroll. It's a 12-4 lead for the Kee Hawks. We play the top half of the 5th inning. Carey, right-hand hitter, slightly open stance. Pause from Carroll. Look back at second. 0-2 delivery, high and tight. Did it graze him? And Sales' pitch from Dustin Carey wasn't good enough. What are they teaching in Odex marketing class if you can't sell that? Come on.
We ought to get on him about that.
Well, Tom's here tonight, so 1-2 delivery. That one hops away from the catcher, Donahue, to his left, and moving up to third will be Bryce Pierce. It'll be 2-2 on number 2, and run number 5 is 90 feet down the road at third. Or down the line, if you will. 2-2 with 1 down. Infield kind of moving up a little bit, kind of playing halfway. 2-2 delivery, high and tight again, and it's 3 balls, 2 strikes. Suppose next time you get grazed by a pitch, go down, sell it a little better.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's all about marketing, isn't it?
Got to get the flop going.
3-2 delivery. Dustin swings and pops one up third base side. Angling into foul ground is Gavin. He's seemingly under the ball, but he does land about 4 rows into the grandstand bleachers up the third base side. There's grandstands up the third base lines. Regular bleacher seating from the third base dugout to a little ways past the first base dugout. Grandstands up the first base side and a couple of party decks out in the outfield. Three balls, 2 strikes with 1 down. Pitch. Carey swings and pops one into shallow left. Coming on is Kells. She will miss the ball out in left field. Pierce will score easily. Carey will end up at second with a misplayed double, and it's 12-5. If there would have been a cloud in the sky, that would have brought rain. Kells with the misplay. And even though the Kee Hawks have a 7-run lead at this point, you know Coach Schultz can't be happy with the way they're playing defense tonight either.
No, not at all. This has been pretty sloppy on both ends.
Batter is Cole Sweska. He's 0 for 3 on the night, and he's hit by the pitch. No action yet in the Kee High bullpen. You probably wouldn't have any with the 7-run lead, but Sweska puts runners at first and second, 2 in, 1 down here in the 5th. Well, ask for a little bit of willingness to compete, and you're seeing it here tonight, Luke.
Yeah, you're starting to get it.
For the record, we're not in the party deck that I just mentioned. And here's Austin Ashbacker. He's been on base twice. Didn't get to stay on base as that one hammered into left of the base hit. And that one is heading all the way to the fence. Scoring is Carey. Scoring is Sweska on a 2-run double. And ladies and gentlemen, it is a 5-run game. It's 12-7.
Yep, that ball was hit on the screws. That's the second one from Austin. He parks it at second this time around.
And here comes Coach Schultz out of the third base dugout. A 4-run 5th inning for Decorah, and I didn't notice if anybody was warming up in between innings for the Kee Hawks, and it looks like for the most part this is just a stern talking to from Coach Schultz. And Brady Dolly will be the batter. He'll bat for Connor Gossman here. Connor was hit by a pitch and grounded to second. Austin Ashbacker now 2 for 3 with a triple, a double, and an RBI here in game number 2 after struggling a little bit with the stick last night. Brady Dolly got the start at second base in game number 1. Dolly was 1 for 3, scored a run, and had a sacrifice. Vikes within a hit of Lansing Key now. We said it earlier after the first inning. I think we got to agree with it now. One of the damnedest games I've ever seen.
And you know, this one may never finish, Darren.
Well, there's no one I'd rather be in the broadcast booth with.
I will say the same.
Unless Coach O, Chris Wanless, Larry Berlin.
Yeah, they're good ones too, I guess.
Yeah. John Carlson back in the day, but he got smart and retired. As the pitch goes inside, 1 ball, no strikes. We'll put it baseball-wise. How's
there
that?
You go.
So. Next thing I know, my boy Benny O is listening. I did a baseball game with him. He'll get offended. I just can't please anybody. Still only 1 out here in the frame, and the pitch is strike to Brady Dolly. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. And in a situation like that, you'd probably, unless that first ball fastball is dead red, you're probably taking a strike every at-bat here, aren't you?
Yep, looking for a base runner any way you can get it. Taking a strike helps.
1-1 inside for 2 balls and 1 strike. So the Decorah crowd, which has been dormant, and with good reason for a lot of game number 2, is no longer dormant with a 4-run 5th inning. 2-1 the count and the pitch. Fastball up. It's 3-1 to Brady Dolly. Well, with an inning like this, yeah, buddy. No problem, man. 3 balls, 1 strike to count. Coach Berlin said thank you. 3-1. Inside for ball 4. Ashbacker second, Dolly first, Aaron Severson to the plate. I remember growing up watching Cubs baseball, and Harry would always say, 12 runs will not win this game. You get the feeling that might be a correct statement tonight. Aaron Severson's 1 for 2. Flow out to center and single to right. The pitch outside, 1 ball, no strikes. 1-0 the count. A 12-7 lead for the Kee Hawks. Vikes won game 1 in what seemed like yesterday, 5-1. The pause and the 1-0. In there for a strike, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike on Severson. One. Swinging a pop-up third base side. Gavin coming over, but that one will reach the seats, sending some Kee Hawk fans scattering. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Still only 1 out here in the 5th. First and second, a 4 spot for Decorah. They trail it 12-7. 1-2 delivery, curveball outside, got by Donahue. Runners move up 90 feet. Baby Bull to third. Dolly to second. So here's an opportunity for Civvy. 2 runners in scoring position. Stretch. 2-2. Low. Nice stop by Donahue, and it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Kee Hawks 12, Decorah 7 here in game 2. We're only in the 5th. Kee Hawks scored 10 of their 12 in the first inning. 3-2 to Severson, up for ball 4. No, they rung him up. Severson tossed the bat away, but the home plate umpire had other ideas, and that's the second out of the inning. And frankly, I thought it was a pretty good call, to be honest with you. It's a pitch that he hasn't called tonight, but he has to call in a game like this.
I 100% agree with you, Dan.
Eric Severson will take the pitch outside. 1 ball, no strike. Eric in his 2 at-bats lined out to right in the second, grounded to the pitcher. In fact, looped back to the pitcher into a double play back in the 4th inning. I know Coach wasn't upset with the call, and I understand his point on the lack of consistency. 1-0, there's the strike, and it's 1-1, but that was a letter-high fastball. You got to ring that.
Yep, oh, absolutely.
And if Adam Riley's listening back home, he's saying, yeah. He's probably not listening, but I know Bob Jacobson is doing it, and they try that quick pitch silliness again, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. That should be a balk, shouldn't it?
You know, it very well could be.
He came set and then took a full step forward and then delivered the ball. 2-1, curveball outside corner for a strike, and it's 2-2. Two and 2 with 2 down. 12-7 Kee Hawks. We're in the top of the 5th. Pitch goes low as they try that quick pitch silliness again. I don't know, A, what you're trying to prove, and B, I don't know how in the world that can't be a balk.
You know, Darren, I missed it again, but in my opinion, it should be.
It needs to be a balk. 3 balls, 2 strikes to count in the pitch, and that's taken for strike 3. But the Vikes do score 4 on 3 hits and 2 runners left. We're 4.5 complete. It's 12-7 Kee Hawks.
One Kee High error, and they left 2 men on base.
Ryan Kuhn will be the batter, and Eric Severson throws a strike to him. No balls and 1 strike. 12-7, bottom of the 5th inning. And a curveball is swung on and missed, nothing in 2. Kuhn, a 2-run single in the first, walked in the first, and reached on an error in the 3rd inning. Up again here in the 5th. 0-2 delivery is taken low. It is 1 ball, 2 strikes. One, 2, swung on and a ground ball towards third. Carey picks it up, throws to first base, and what do you know? He airmails it, and it's an E5. Well, the Vikes haven't quite hit double-digit errors tonight, but that's number 9.
At some point, the routine plays need to be made.
Yeah.
And they haven't been here tonight.
And none of the 9 errors have been all that difficult to place.
You're right.
Or they shouldn't be difficult to people that you put out on the field. Curve ball for a strike, nothing in 1. To Casey Carroll, who's walked 3 times tonight. Oh-1. Curveball outside for 1 ball, 1 strike. And one of the things we talked about when the score was 12-3 back in the 3rd is show a little pride and don't get 10 run. That's a little bit more of a difficult task now,
yep.
Luke. 1-1, swung on ground ball, hits the umpire, and then caroms into center field for a base hit.
Well, there's, Darren, you made a good point about competing, and I think we've done that here. When a ball hits an umpire, it becomes dead.
And everyone gets a base, correct?
Correct.
So
effectively, it turned out okay, but
first and second, nobody out, and Jared Donahue will come to the plate. Walked and scored in the first, popped to second in the first, and had an RBI single to left in the 3rd. A 12-7 lead for the Kee Hawks as we play the bottom of the 5th inning. Decorah 1, game 1, 5-1. Here's fly ball left center field. A late break from Jay Covden, but he'll make a 2-handed catch in shallow to medium depth left, and that's the first out of the inning. We noticed Chris Hartman playing first base now for Decorah. I think everybody else is pretty much straight up. Yep.
Chris did a nice job of backing up that throw. That's not a very common place to be needing your first baseman, but that was good heads up by him.
1 down, first and second. 12-7 Kee Hawks here in game 2 in the 5th. Jason Delaney will be the batter. A curveball taken outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Delaney an RBI single and a run scored in the first. Hit by a pitch in the second. And grounded to the pitcher in the 3rd. Decorah 1, game 1, 5-1. The Kee Hawks lead it here in game 2, 12-7. Severson comes set, a look back at second, and the pitch goes outside. So it's 2 balls and no strikes. Two-0. Fastball missing outside for 3 balls and no strikes. Trio taking all the way, and it's 3-1 is Delaney. Delaney, a state track qualifier for the Kee Hawks this year. Ran the 800 but now only has to run 240 feet at a time at most. 3-1. Delaney bunts and bunts through it. It's a strike, 3-2, and ball got away from Kyle Kane, and moving up 90 feet will be Kuhn and Carroll. So, three balls, two strikes with one down, and infield coming up now for Decorah. It's a good job of having your head in the game there by Eric Severson.
Yep, absolutely.
We'll explain it here in a second. 3-2, smacked into left on a base hit. Scoring is Kuhn. Carroll rounding third, coming to the plate. The throw from Sweska nowhere close. A two-run single for Jason Delaney, and a 14-7 lead for the Kee Hawks. But a moment ago, when the runners got to second and third, Severson was the one who talked to his infield and said, you guys need to come up. He looked towards the dugout, and Coach O said, yes, you guys need to come up.
Yep, he did a good job of taking the time to make sure everybody was in the correct spot.
14-7 the score. Travis Kelch swings and misses at a Severson curveball, 0-1. Kelch walked and scored in the first, grounded to the pitcher in the third, fly to right in the third. The ground out to the pitcher was in the second. Kelch and Delaney are the only two who didn't bat twice in that 10-run first inning. Pitch in there for a strike, and it's 0-2. 14-7 the score. Pitch, swing, and a foul back into the protective netting behind home plate. You almost had a goalie fight at the end of the second period.
Oh boy, that's exciting. Don't see that every day.
0-2 delivery, swung on and missed. Seavey took a little something off, and Kelch out in front for the second out of the inning. And Matt Manning will bat for the fifth time here in game number 2. Singled and scored, reached on an error and scored in the first, popped to third in the second, and popped to the second baseman in the fourth. 14-7 Kee Hawks here in the bottom of the fifth. Curveball for a strike, 0-1. No balls, one strike. Severson ready, 0-1. Fastball up, 4-1 ball, one strike. Runner at first, 2 in, 2 down. And that one hit Severson as slipped out of his hands and hit Manning in the number 5 on the back of his jersey. So first and second with 2 down, and the potential game-winning run to the plate with Quinn Brennan. 14-7 Kee Hawks. We play the bottom of the fifth. It wasn't a goalie fight, it was just words. Pitch swung on and missed by Brennan. Got me all excited. Bad thing about social media, people jump to conclusions.
You don't hear the whole story.
But if you can't say it in 140 characters, is it really worth saying?
That's a fair point there, Darren.
No balls, one strike to count. Brennan, 1 for 4, 2 runs scored. He had a single and scored twice in that first inning. Curveball outside corner for a strike, and it's no balls and 2 strikes to count. Nothing in 2 with 2 down. Severson comes set in the 0-2 delivery. Smacked into center field and a base hit. 0-2 hanging curve. Rounding third, coming to the plate is Delaney. Throw there is offline. An RBI single for Quinn Brennan and a 15-7 lead for the Kee Hawks. Way too fat of an 0-2 pitch there, Luke.
Yep, with those 0-2 ones, you can kind of get fine, nibble on the edges, and hope for chase or a weak contact. That one left over the heart of the plate.
Chris Carroll, the pitcher for the Kee Hawks, takes a curveball low, trying to move up. Is Manning, throw down to third base, gets out by the glove of Dustin Carey. And both runners will move up on the wild pitch.
And I just continue to be surprised at Decorah's inability to
make routine plays,
to catch baseball right now.
And Dustin's way better than what he's shown tonight here in Game 2.
Absolutely.
Now the potential winning run is at second base for the Kee Hawks. 1-0 the count on Chris Carroll, and the next pitch high from Severson. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Decorah won Game 1 tonight 5-1. They trail this one 15-7. Severson delivers, pitch high again. It's 3 balls, no strikes. And the pitch out of the zone for ball 4. And Nick Gavin will be the man that bats around for the Kee Hawks. He's the 9th man to come to the plate this inning. Popped to the pitcher in the first, reached on an error in the first, reached on an error and scored in the third, grounded to second or to short in the fourth.
No, this is a situation, you're down 8 runs, but it is pressure packed, and single, the ball game's over. You want to see what you got here, and you want to go out and compete and give your best effort here.
Well, and it might not mean nothing for tonight, but this is a situation that you can simulate in an in-game situation that might help you down the road.
Absolutely.
Ground ball up the middle and through for a base hit. Dolly actually picks it up and throws to first, and he got him. Brady Dolly made the backhand throw and threw to first base to retire Gavin. And that's that here in the 5th inning.
That was a heck of a play by Brady.
3 runs, 3 hits, 1 error, and the bases left loaded. We go to the 6th. It's 15-7 Kee Hawks. I have no idea. He's Luke. I'm Darren. We're in La Crosse. First time in forever, Decorah has played a high school baseball game in the state of Wisconsin. Of course, you play out of state quite a bit in the other sports, basketball especially. Decorah has played Prairie du Chien regularly. And I know, like boys tennis plays on Alaska, Winona Cotter, Winona Senior, everything like that. But baseball, you just don't get that opportunity. But Kee High's field wasn't exactly ready to go, so a nice opportunity here for the young men to play in a very nice facility.
Absolutely.
Here at Copeland Park. 5-1 Decorah won the first game tonight, and Kee High leads Game 2 by a 15-7 margin. Colin Nimrod will be the batter. He's 2 for 2, singled and scored in the first, singled again in the second, and hit by a pitch in the 5th. He started the 4-run rally in that 5th inning by getting hit by a pitch. Pitch, a strike, it's 0-1. He's been hit by a pitch twice tonight, and here's a bunt up the third base side. Carroll off the mound to field, throws a strike to first base, and Nimrod retired. Nice play by Chris Carroll, the pitcher, of being that 5th infielder.
Yeah, that was a very nice play. Quick off the mound, good footwork around the baseball, and a strong throw to first.
And nice idea by Colin.
Yeah, he executed it pretty well, too.
Jake Hovden is 1 for 3 tonight. First pitch taken low, 1 ball, no strikes. Hovden, an RBI single in the first inning, and a run scored. Reached on a fielder's choice in the second, and reached on a fielder's choice and scored in the 5th. A 15-7 lead for the Kee Hawks here in the sixth. As the pitch goes high, it's 2 balls, no strikes. Carroll has gone the distance for Kee High. Hovden squares to bunt, pulls the bat back, looks at a strike, and it's 2-1. My guess is he had the take sign there.
I think you're correct.
Pitch out of the zone, 3 balls, 1 strike on Jake Hovden. "20 hits, 13 errors, and 22 runs in this one." Hovden smacks one into center field and a base hit. So Jake Hovden with the 2 for 4 night. He's going to go for 2, throw to second base, and the throw gets by the shortstop, Carroll, and a pure hustle double from Jake Hovden there.
You know, to start off with, that's probably not a very smart play to make when you're down 8 runs, but those are the kind of, moves. At least you can tell the guys are competing hard, going for an extra base, and hopefully that puts a little life into this group.
Kyle Kane 1 for 3 on the night. He doubled and scored in his last at-bat in the 5th, also knocking in a run in the process. The pitch in there for a strike. It's 0-1. He's hit the wall twice on doubles throughout the course of the evening, showing the power his older brother never had. You hit one out of the yard a couple times.
Never did.
Never did. 0-1 high. I must have dreamt it.
Close a couple times.
1 ball, 1 strike to count. 15-7 lead for Kee High. We play the top half of the 6th inning. Pitch outside corner for a strike, and it's 1-2. Hovden at second with 1 down. One-two, swung on, a popper toward short. Carroll will retreat and make the catch. That's Casey Carroll at shortstop, and Kyle Kane retired for the second out of the inning. So 2 down and a runner at second for Dustin Carey. Reached on an error in the first, grounded to third in the third, and doubled to left and knocked in a run, scored himself in the 5th. Kee Hawks got a 10-run first inning and have never looked back. They lead it 15-7. Dustin looks at a strike, 0-1. Decorah did get 3 in the top half of the first inning. Decorah did win game number 1 tonight by a 5-1 margin. 0-1 delivery, looped towards third, and a foul ball just to the left of the chalk onto the outfield grass, so it's no balls, 2 strikes. Ryan Delahan is ready to go to keep our transmitter on. So if you hear a little bit of static here in the next couple of moments, don't worry about it. Delahan will help us out. Get us right back up. 0-2 delivery, sails high for 1 ball, 2 strikes. Long night of baseball. First pitch tonight was at 5:43. There wasn't a heck of a lot of time between the games either.
No, there wasn't. They got them moving.
1-2 delivery. Carey looks it into the glove, and it's in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The hats are shaking with the deuces wild. Step out by Carey. He'll step back in. Carroll looks in for the sign from Donahue, and the pitch swung on and missed it over the top curveball. 1 hit, 1 left. We go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. We'll keep it here in between the breaks. It'll be Kee High 15, Decorah 7. And after game number 3, a lot of things to correct, but that's baseball.
Yep, you're gonna have a lot to talk about moving forward here, and a lot of improvement to make. But they are correctable mistakes, and I'm sure they will be addressed. And hopefully, this can be sort of a learning experience and sort of a jumping off point for what's to come.
I think it's one of those deals where, from the Kee High perspective, you might ask why you're sticking with Carroll so long. Well, they've got 2 games to play tomorrow.
Yep, you got it.
At the Shooky Fink tournament.
You only have so many arms, so you gotta use them up.
And they played Tuesday night against Maquoketa Valley. Bryce Pierce now in at third base for Decorah. As we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, it'll be the same part of the order that had a 3-run 5th inning for the Kee Hawks. Ryan Kuhn, 2-run single, run scored in the first, walked in the first, reached on an error and scored in the 3rd inning, and reached on an error and scored in the 5th inning. But
almost everybody did.
Yeah. I was going to say, who hasn't? Ground ball up the middle, and a diving attempt by Brady Dowley is unsuccessful, so Kuhn on to start things here in the 6th inning.
This may be the most base runners I've ever seen in a single baseball game, Darren.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's 13 hits, another 7 errors, and about 5 walks tonight. And Decorah has had, I believe, 17 base runners on tonight. I'd count them myself, but I'd run out of fingers and toes.
Yeah, no kidding.
Curve for a strike to Casey Carroll, 0-1. Carroll's been on base all 4 times, 3 walks and a single. He's also scored a couple of times. 15-7 Kee Hawks, bottom of the 6th. Curveball taken low, and trying to take second base is Kuhn, and he will be successful. On the wild pitch, Kyle kept in front of him, but nothing else. We do see Caleb Wally heading down to the bullpen for Decorah. Clay Olson will run for Casey Carroll out at second base. As Tucker Kelch, actually, not Clay Olson. Sirens in the distance. They didn't see that disaster in the first inning, obviously. Perhaps the 911 call could have came to Copeland Park in that frame. Pitch swung on, popped up right side off the bat of Donahue, and overrunning it slightly, but coming back and making the catch is Eric Severson. And there's one down in the 6th inning as Severson made the catch from the pitcher's mound and angled into foul territory to do so.
Yep, he did a good job keeping his feet under him and reaching back and grabbing that ball.
That was actually Casey Carroll, and Jared Donahue is now the batter. Donahue 1 for 3, a walk, an RBI single on the night. Decorah won game 1, 5-1, trails this game 15-7. And the pitch a little bit outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Severson's thrown since the first. And the pitch swung on, a fly ball out into left center field. That one will land for a base hit. Stopping at third base will be Kuhn as Hovden got to the ball immediately. First and third, 1 out here in the 6th.
Well, you're back to that situation with the winning game-ending run on base here. It's time to buckle down and make sure you can play the full 7.
Programming from KWLC Radio will follow. This is still KDEC AM 1240 and KDECradio.net. Darren Swenson, Luke Kane here at Copeland Park in La Crosse. Doubleheader to play games 2 and 3 here on the season. First and third, one down. Pitch outside, 1 ball, no strikes. (1-0), ground ball foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. One and one the count. Severson ready in the pitch. Outside corner for a strike. And it's 1-2. Severson ready, 1-2. Swinging a pop-up right side foul, and it will land just in front of the fence, in front of the box seats on the right side. Don't think Cal saw that one immediately. In case you're just joining us here in Game 2, Decorah got 3 in the first inning, but Kee Hawks responded with 10 in the bottom of the first. Decorah's defense, frankly, has been putrid tonight.
I'd say that's a good word for it.
9 errors here in Game 2. Curveball taken low. Check swing, and the base umpire says no, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runners at first and third with 1 down. And the 2-2 pitch up for 3 balls, 2 strikes now. (3-2) outside, ball 4. Now the game-ending run up at second base with only 1 out. And we'll see.
Now batting for the Kee Hawks, number 23, Nate Wood.
And Nate Wood will be the batter for Travis Kelch. Kelch on the night was 0 for 3 with a walk. And we'll see if Coach O took a step out of the dugout. Landon Ashbacker, assistant coach, was down by the bullpen. He's communicating something to Coach O. For the time being, Eric Severson is in there. Here's a one-hopper right back to Severson. Goes to the plate, and Kane for 1. He'll return throw to first in time for the double play. Simple as 1, 2, 3. And the Kee Hawks kept off the board for only the 3rd time tonight. 2 hits, 2 left. We go to the 7th inning. 15-7 Kee Hawks lead, and we'll keep it here between innings. Bottom line, one thing you wanted to see is show a little pride. Don't get 10 run. You've accomplished that task. Granted, in a game where you give up 10 in the first inning, you commit 9 errors. You're perhaps grasping at straws to find something positive. But the fact of the matter is, that's one thing I think you can hang your hat on from tonight.
I would agree with you. I think they've continued to compete. And that's all you can ask for. When you get down so much so early, it can be kind of disheartening. And I think we've done a nice job at staying in the ball game as best we can.
Well, and now the level of competition that you saw from innings 2 through 7, you got to bring that now in from the get-go against everybody. Sean Truan will bat here to start things here in the 7th inning. It's not everything is lost tonight, because it was a 5-1 victory in game number 1. Dustin Carey, 7 strikeouts, no walks, throwing a 5-hitter and getting that victory. Jake Hubden with 2 RBIs in that game, and you do have 9 hits and 7 runs here in game number 2. You've done a pretty good job overall with the sticks. Now, the timely hits could probably get a little bit better. But offensively, I think you've had a decent night.
I think so. I think you've competed hard at the plate. Not a lot of strikeouts. You've put a lot of balls in play hard, and a few more that have even been caught. So I think we have battled with sticks. Just got to clean up some of the nonsense on defense.
Well, and I think it all started, and every coach will tell you, as Truman will bat for Sweska here. Sean was 0 for 2 in game 1 and looks at the first pitch high. 1 ball, no strikes. The 9 errors unacceptable, and you're not doing your pitcher any good by committing 9 errors. But at the same time, as Truman looks at the next one high, 2 balls, no strikes. But your pitcher has to set that tone, and Colin from the get-go just frankly couldn't find the strikes.
Yep, absolutely. Getting strike 1, starting ahead is so important.
2-0 up for 3 balls and no strikes. And a kid with the wheels of Sean Truman, you do not want to put him on first base.
No, you do not.
Hashtag sarcasm. 3-0. Inside corner for a strike, and it's 3-1. I can pick on Sean. Anybody else does, they're going to have to answer to me. 3 balls, 1 strike in the pitch. Well, high for ball 4. Now, my guess is Cole Sweska will re-enter and run for Sean.
Yep, you're right.
And now Coach Schultz will make a walk out to the mound to talk to Carroll. Carroll has gone the distance. And I believe it'll be Casey Carroll that will come into this game. Carroll gives up 7 runs. 5 of them earned tonight on 9 hits. It'll just be a flip-flop between Chris Carroll and Casey Carroll, pitcher to shortstop. So, as the new pitcher is coming up, it's Brady Dolly, it's Cole Sweska, and Austin Ashbacker in the third base box. In programming from KWLC Radio will follow this one tonight. We appreciate them giving us a little bit of time tonight. Baseball, one of those games where you just can't predict the time, but that's one of the great things about the game, too.
Absolutely.
Here's the baby bull. Runner at first, nobody out. Ashbacker swung it well here in game 2. Been on base 3 times, 2 for 3, a double and a triple, but on that triple he slid by the bag and was tagged out. Ashbacker will look at a strike. It is 0-1. I'm going to guess that was the first triple of Austin Ashbacker's career.
Man, I would have to think so.
Perhaps the last one, too. 0-1 delivery. Curveball taken for a strike, and it's 0-2. But he did have an interception on the football field.
Did he really?
Against Boone in the playoffs in 11.
Okay, I do remember that now that you...
At the Unidome.
That was a good 3 years ago now.
Deflected pass, and it came down in 64's hand. 0-2, swung out a fly ball, hitting into right field, angling towards the line is Delaney. He will make the catch in foul territory for the first out here in the 7th inning. And shot by Delaney, sticking with that one.
Yep, he had quite the run over there, right to make a play right near the line.
Runner at first base and 1 down, Brady Dolly. And his 1 at bat, he walked back in the 5th. 15-7 Kee Hawks. We play at the top of the 7th. Pitch to Brady is outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Stretch. Pitch. Uncorked wild, and it caroms by Brennan and towards the third base Kee High dugout, and a wild pitch will move Sweska up to second base. Public address announcer was a little late. He's getting distracted up here. Blaming that on Mr. Nimrod, not anybody else. I did call him Mr. at least. 2-0 count, and the pitch is strike. It's 2-1 on Brady Dolly. Vikes won game 1, 5-1. Trail at 15-7 here in game 2. A Kee High 10-run first inning, helped out by 7 Decorah errors. Nothing else needs to be said, to be honest with you. The pitch. Curve ball low. It is 3 balls and 1 strike. Gotta love nonverbal communication on the radio. Pitch high. Ball 4. So first and second with 1 down. And Chris Hartman will get his first varsity at bat. Hartman, the left-hand thrower, left-hand hitter. Now if 2 guys get on, actually you need more than that. It's 8. My bad. Hartman will look at the first one. It hops away from the catcher Donahue, but it's taken for a strike. It's 0-1. 15-7 Keyhawks. The runner at second is Cole Sweska. The runner at first is Brady Dolly. Stretch, a look back at second. And the 1-0 delivery is low. Or actually, that was the 0-1 delivery, and it's low. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Away from second, Sweska. Away from first is Dolly. 1-1. High, it is 2 balls and 1 strike. Pitch outside again. It's 3 balls, 1 strike. Three and 1 the count. Carroll ready, 3-1. Pitch low, ball 4. Bases walked, loaded. And now the batter will be Caleb Qualley. Qualley will get his first varsity at bat right here. Bases loaded, 1 down. Well, 4 more guys get on. The time runs to the plate.
It could happen, I guess.
Outside, 1 ball, no strikes. One-0. Inside again, 2 balls, no strikes. Carroll struggling to find the zone. Still only 1 out here in the 7th inning. Pitch, there's a strike at the letters. It's 2-1. Runners lead from their respective bases. This time the Kee Hawks aren't putting anybody on or holding anybody on. Pitch inside corner for a strike, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-2 the count. Pitch swung on and a ground ball to the right side and through for a base hit. Scoring is Sweska. Dolly coming to the plate. He will score. It's a 15-9 ball game. Quali now tries to advance to second, and he is thrown out at second base.
That'll be a learning moment there. Down so many runs, you probably don't want to get too risky. Every base runner is precious.
Caleb knocks in 2. That's the good thing. The throw was cut off by the first baseman, Kuhn, as Dolly tried to advance to second, and he was, frankly, a dead duck at second. 8-3-6 for the second out of the inning. 15-9 the score. And Colin Nimrod will bat for the 5th time here in Game 2. He'll look at a strike, 0-1. He singled and scored in the first, singled in the second, hit by a pitch in the 5th, and grounded to the pitcher in the 6th. It's a sign you've swung it pretty well tonight. Your leadoff man's batting for the 5th time, and a strike is taken, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, I don't think the offense has been the issue today. I think you could be pretty happy with what you put together offensively.
Yeah, defense, no.
Yep.
You can't. 9 errors in this one. 0-2 delivery. They threw it behind Nimrod. And that was another one of those quick pitch. I'm going to call it crap, to be honest with you. But you see it quite often with this group. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1-2 delivery. Pitch low. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two and 2 the count. Swung on, hammered towards center field. It'll hang up for Manning. He will make the catch to retire the side. Kee Hawks win Game 2, 15-9. Decorah won Game 1, 5-1. Final thoughts on the night.
Well, Darren, like we said, I think the defense let us down today, or in the second game. Played a pretty clean first game. Not the case in the second game. Offensively, did some good things, but a lot to work on defensively that I'm sure will get shored up. Nice job,
Luke. We'll talk to you again soon.
Sounds great.
Many people to thank for making it possible. Thank Ryan Dillahant for keeping us on the air. We want to thank the advertisers for helping us bring the game home to you. And we want to thank you. That's right, you, the listener, for tuning in. Hawks win Game 2, 15-9. Decorah wins Game 1, 5-1. Thanks a bunch for tuning in. We'll talk to you again Tuesday night from New Hampton.